All right, everyone. We're going to be watching FaZe versus Ultra from Sunday. They faced Rio, obviously, but we're going to see what they do really well. Hello. We're playing 6-star Hardpoint. New map. All right, you get sometime Ultra setting up for P2. There's nobody in the back. I don't know if that'll... Maybe they're blocking. You have Envoy pushed out. Okay, so BC's going all the way through. So this might block. Yeah, it is. So you have nobody in the back. So already, a BC takes this long route. He's in the back here. He blocks the spawn. So you're going to see Envoy spawn out over this way. Now let's just do the long route.
You have CleanX here to find a double to at least neutralize it for a little bit. Oh, what a great route. The stun comes in from the front door. CleanX gets a freebie. And Toronto now from the front. Re-break the hard.
Still doing a good job, though, from the front.
In the first place from Atlanta. CleanX still not giving away this back staircase on 4 in a row. Last attempt here for Atlanta, you'd think, but the thing is, they're kind of being spawn trapped here in a way, Jay. I mean, they're still spawning backside stairs. CleanX.
Well, it's just a little weird. So you had both teams in the back, so spawns got a little weird. They kind of spawned out. A BZ does able to win it.
Oh, that's big stuff too, because
but
spawns over towards P2, 2 players spawn over towards
yeah, now it's Ultra. They kind of spawn in the back. Somebody was in the back for FaZe. It's crazy, little. It's a little crazy. Big 2-piece by CleanX. BZ with a good trade. You're gonna get to spawn in the back.
But BZ's knowing that those spawns are still going to be in towards the back end, and this is a hill that Atlanta FaZe struggled versus Optic Texas. So far, they're trying to hold it from the front. Yeah, and they're doing.
Okay, that's a good read by a BC because they realize they spawn middle of the map. You see where this spawn is happening? It's because there's one here and one here for FaZe. So they're kind of blocking the back here. Yeah, they block the back when you're in this back alley, it looks like.
50 points plus now for Atlanta.
All right, now they're going to know. They're going to turn around. That was really good because that was really weird. But I think holding the front through the front on P2 to transfer to P3 is kind of big head. No. Yes, it's just harder to do. So for example, I think a lot of these hills on these maps, right, you can hold from the front. We just saw it here at P2, right? You can force them to have to drop down this, or you have to drop down this. The problem, right, is you're always going to have the closer spawns if you're holding from the front. You're gonna spawn further away. Same thing here on P3. You can force them through this little alleyway. Well, I guess these two alleyways, but they're gonna keep spawning here, so they're gonna be closer. So every kill that they get's always a little bit more important. You're not wrong, right? Even on this next hill at P4, if you get control of it, they have to drop down or they have to go through this security window, right? No matter what, it's just tougher to do. Yes. The nice thing about it, if you hold from the front, you pretty much are gifted a rotation. It's just not as easy because usually you have a further spawn away.
Long range shots towards the BZ. Good semtex to replace that utility.
All right, it's kind of a 3-1 split here. Sim's trying to go through the middle.
Can they find this from Insight's perspective here in the kitchen? First two,
and this is what I kind of mean to that question. You see where you're spawning now with like number 3, like you're holding from the front, but you're spawning all the way here now. So it's just a farther run to this position where I guess this is kind of equal. It's a little bit, I guess, more equal on this. I feel like you could spawn closer, though, like over here. But it's just not as easy.
This still isn't easy to do, especially at this hill. You either have to drop down, jump out of the window, or work your way through a bulletproof door.
But they're doing it so far also here. More CleanX is 12-6. A great start from him. It's kind of equal on this hill. All right, so pretty back and forth game so far.
Deals with the first, but the help from Insight keeps CleanX alive a little while longer. But regardless, it is still Toronto with the last man standing, and they will open up the new hard point. Yeah, now it turns to a
only one player here, though.
Insight, you just gotta try to swim as long as you possibly can. Wait for your teammates to get close to you. Those first two are not gonna connect from the Renetti out of
this is fun. It's all right. They get the rest of the kills.
His teammates are slaying through top mid. BZ wins his one-on-one through bottom.
Okay, so this is one of the better holds we will see, right? What we kind of talk about on hills like this, again, if you're holding, like if you have both sides, like you have number 6 here, in this, you would love if like Simp was here, but it still worked out. You are spawning these 3 players so far away. Like that is the goal. It's not easy to do because normally like where number 4 is, he would influence a spawn, but that is a lot of map control for this hill.
And that's going to be a successful break coming in from Atlanta FaZe with 40 seconds still on this hill.
Yeah, the spawns for Toronto are very
You got a BZ in the middle of the map.
from the front. Some players having to go through the middle of the
This
map.
is what, 70 to 90, I think, at the start of this hill.
Of this isolated plant inside the pool does well.
Saw gets a kill.
As soon as he has to go into the depths of the water.
Yeah, I mean, it just feels like that spawn on the left is...
Oh, man, I'll tell you, Jay, we talked about
It's a bit of an adventure, which is good. It's what we want.
Really solid handle on some of these real chaotic points.
Yeah, the biggest thing versus Optic Texas, they couldn't find success on breaking, but the way that they are playing and setting up their breaks, they're taking these long routes. They're taking their sweet time. They're using crossfires to the best of their ability to find some successful time. At the end of that P4, they were only up by 30, 40 points.
We got Sim taking a long route again. Draws just kind of spawns behind him. Let's watch that again. They kind of don't read this. It's tough to read this. So Simp off spawn goes down here, right? He goes on a long route. Someone also spawns up. So because 3 spawns here and Insight, that forces draws out here. And then you get 3 gunfight wins. And you're not going to be expected if you're Envoy. So that's just, Simp takes that long route and somehow, I don't know how Insight spawns here, but he did. That spawn draws on the opposite side. But what, it was 70 to 90 going into P5.
Able to find himself the double, and now he locks down everything at this front lobby. Almost gets a little lineup collateral to rotate to 2 as well. That could have been deadly for
Nice
Toronto,
little break back for Ultra.
a chance for them to get back into the hard point, at least neutralized for a time. But boy, I'll tell you, Jay, they need to win this rotation.
Big one-on-one for Insight.
Insight is their first towards P2.
But you see those spawns right there from Simp. He's going to get the close spawn over towards P4 so they can work their way around the back end with Envoy spawning all the way at P3. So they now know Atlanta FaZe are on the backside. We have to try to contest this P1, but also win some gunfights through the front, and Celium doing what he does best. A little body shooting to make sure he lets CleanX know.
Okay, now you have Scrap taking this long route. We saw BZ do it earlier. You need your teammates to get kills because someone is going to pick it up sooner or later. And now with them pushing out middle, they should recognize this.
Not even doing it on kills he finds. So I'll tell you, Atlanta feeling pretty.
Yeah, that's probably, this is something I think teams just with more reps will start to realize. So when does a BZ go here? So he's still here at this hill. So on rotation, but Scrap's going on this long route. And a BZ stays P1. So he's just trying to get cutoffs. The problem is with Scrap taking that long route, they just push out the back. And the back's wide open. And then with a BZ middle of the map, the spawn's got to flip. And that leads to the break. So that's just a play where maybe in a few weeks they recognize if we stay P1, the back's open, they're going to spawn in the back. All right, Envoy's trying to take a route. BZ's going to try to pick this up. That's a nice little spot here. Okay, now look at this. So this is really interesting. So you just have like this straight line. It's almost what I talked about on this P5, where if you have this straight line, it's not the same, but you're pretty much covering everything, right? Normally it's a front spawn and a back spawn. Right here, it's this line right through this entire hill that you have control of your FaZe. And now if you're Ultra, if I had to guess before, so Envoy's going to spawn. I imagine he spawns here. And what's tough about this, it's just a question of where do we want to go? You either try to go through the staircase and up to the front, which is going to take a while, or you try to flood through the back, which kind of what we talked about. If this takes a little bit too long and say they flip, that's exactly what FaZe wants. Where right through, they're just going to take the front spawns, take half the hill, and maybe a free rotation over to P4. So this is a really good setup here by FaZe. Yeah, Envoy spawns P1. So what do? They decide to try to flood through this. You still have the back spawn because Abizi was alive, and now you know where they're coming from. So Abizi's just making sure good play, good life by Abizi there. I think, too, Abizi saying that right there, I think with 4 dead right here, at 26 on the clock, I think Abizi should go. He should leave this. You want 1 or 2 to spawn here. So you're going to hear in the listen, he's like, I'm blocking the back. I don't think he wants that at this moment. I think he should push, though. I think he should keep that open.
It's really good time. This is the game. This time is the game. We should play.
But yeah, I guess he's kind of right. It puts them at 240.
Absolute master class from Atlanta FaZe, and you can even hear the small talk a little bit of like, what are these guys doing? A little more of a BZ.
Envoy gets a bit of a lucky spawn. Okay, this will be interesting. Where do you spawn here if you're ultra? Do you spawn, yeah, near P2? Okay.
10 seconds away from the win, trying to break it open from the front in Toronto. Jay, I'll tell you, they just look a little lost on the map.
Oh yeah, they were just not ready for this pressure that Atlanta FaZe are going to set off the rip all 6.
That's the map, though. I mean, what? It's 90 to 70 going into that P5 right here. And then it ends, they get to 120. That was a hell of a map. Hell of a map out of FaZe. Ultra's map pool is weak versus the other top 4 teams. I mean, what? So you're going to lose sub base every time you play FaZe. I think Optic and New York will play sub base. I feel like Optic would veto Karachi versus them and play like Karachi sub base or one of the new maps. So I don't know about that. I think Ultra probably play pretty well versus them. Same with New York. Because Ultras, they'll play Rio. I don't know if you play Rio versus FaZe, but probably versus the other two. Yeah, so I don't know if it's... I think FaZe for them right now is... I mean, they're a nightmare matchup for a lot of people, but even more so. All right, so here's a look at the vetoes. What, you get... Yeah, so sub-base veto comes in. You're vetoing Vista, which opens up Rio. They'll play Rio all day. Karachi search, high-rise search. Yeah, we'll see. Is there a map that FaZe don't want to play? Pretty much the only thing FaZe doesn't play is this, sub-base hardpoint. That's really it. They don't like having auto vetoes. I imagine at some point, my guess is, it may not be until champs, but maybe a major final, is that you may see it, depending on a matchup. It's one, like, they know. Like, I'm sure in scrims, their big focal points right now are probably the new maps in 6-star and probably sub-base. All right, here we go. Rio Search. This is another really good FaZe map.
Toronto Ultra is that you're the team on the attacking side first, because everything for Atlanta on their attacking side is basically perfection. So if you are Ultra, you have to figure out how you're going to find...
All right, so FaZe stack A just off the break to see if it's an A push. Bomb going down B. Well, that's just fast. Envoy just dies right after the plant, and Simp gets 2.
Jesus burst right through. A little delayed hit, and then all of a sudden, they're right in your face. Scrap right over towards bridge side. Abizi will give that information over to Draza. Simp also pushing forward.
I mean, this is just an info play from FaZe. I mean, this is just a gamble. Like, if you look at the start of this round, they're pretty much saying right here, like, all right, there's nothing here in the first 15 setups. They just rotate their duo through boxes and then go top B. And the timing works where they get a free kill. Is it a bad setup by Ultra? Should Kleenex be more pushed up? Yeah, so Kleenex is just sitting vending, right? The problem is they have no info. So you had this player who's thinking, Insight's probably thinking, we haven't seen anything. This might be a double or triple flank hit. So he's trying to get to his teammates back here. You have no info bridge side. It's not the worst thing to just go for the plant. Maybe you'd like Kleenex to be in a better spot, but where else is he supposed to be to look over his teammate planning? Like maybe bridge. Still, that's probably traded out after Envoy plants. This is just literally they have no info, right? They have info. All they have is this part of the map. That's all they know. So the push, again, could be coming through the flank. So Kleenex maybe has to turn around. Insight doesn't want to get isolated here on the pinch. It's just that they could not plant it and wait, but they probably just feel like, let's get this bomb planted. And then the timing just works out well for FaZe.
A little delayed hit, and then all of a sudden, they're right in your face. Scrap right over towards bridge side. Abizi will give that information over to Draza. Simp also pushing forward, has no worries dealing with the late lurk of Insight, and it's a flawless first round for FaZe. Efficient. That's been kind of the key for their search and destroy really on the year. You look across any statistic, and they're probably top 3 just about everywhere. So trophy system has been earned.
Okay, this is the same thing, okay? The only difference is you have Celium all the way down here, but it's pretty much the same play. You're just going for the play. It's the same setup. Where Kleenex was, this is where you have Draza. I mean, maybe he has an AR, so you're feeling a little bit better. But that's not saying nothing is stopping Ultra right now to just go right here and get this player on the bomb. They just don't. They don't have any info, right? What's the difference in this setup? You had 2 players from FaZe. Well, you had 3. You had 1 here. They basically got all the info A street, so they knew it wasn't an A hit, so they just rotated back to B. That's all it is. 6 is in a better spot to help the planner. I mean, there was still a player near bridge. But realistically, he could also get awful timing in die bridge. It's not that much different of a setup, I guess, is what I'm saying. The info is just that FaZe had it a lot easier with the info knowing nobody was A side.
How do you try to recontest this? Scrap is really outside the play. Abizi's not going to give him the time of day. And I guess you kind of have to look to Envoy to be the first guy up, and he's the smoke here, so you got to...
Okay, again, Cell's just sitting here and is literally like, guys, there's nothing flank. So what do these three players know? Buy time. Let Cell get into a better spot to help his teammates. Throw your nades and your stuns just so there's not a 4-on-3. But it's all an info play. Again, they know exactly where this push is going to come from due to Cell.
Trying to figure out how Atlanta FaZe are setting up around this site. It's already been 15 seconds knocked off the game clock. You're at least able to get some info onto a BZ, but Simp and Celium already set up with the crossfires for the initial 2 kills.
They got to check the bomb plant or bomb defuse. Simp has the next check.
It's just shoulders here, shoulders there. Look at me, look at him. I mean, oh my goodness. Oh my
but
goodness.
no flank threat.
And it's just the efficiency around the utility and the trophies in these first 2 rounds.
And this is the same thing.
Should be matched this time. Is Toronto this time going to go?
This is the same exact thing. Okay, you have your 3 players set up here for FaZe. With the boxes, it's an easy transition back to B if we have to, if we retake. It's not going to take a long time. This is a counter towards A. If there's no info here, we can also flank this, right? So there's a lot of options here. We can do what we did round 1 if you're FaZe. You can back up through boxes, retake to top middle. You can also triple flank this. Just make sure Draza stays alive. Maybe finds a pick. There's a lot of options just based off this play.
Very aggressively right up mid and beyond it. They're going to clear off stairs and Eskies at the same time. This will delay the plant just a touch, but Atlanta are aware of this. Here comes the retake attempt over towards Eskies, and first blood again gets tallied.
This just seems really like we don't know what we want to do if we're Ultra, right? Like watch this. So you have Scrap who gets aggressive. You haven't started planting the bomb yet. You could have. You have a much better top middle position. You have somebody with Kleenex with bomb planter and Envoy. It's almost just like you don't really know what you want to do, what you want to commit to, because then Scrap goes and gets picked. Like he's pushing this, and it's like it's just a little off timing. And again, we have no info A side, so guess what? Look at what Insight's watching. This is our first info play. Is Scrap pushing down SCs by himself? Now Insight will turn around because he's like, hey, there's 2 or 3 lobby.
Here comes the retake attempt over towards Eskies, and first blood again gets tallied. Abizi just hits the deck. Kleenex on the corner at stairs, but everyone's back to full regen, and Abizi clears it. Oh man, are you kidding me?
So you just check that spot. It's just very individual right now at Ultra. They probably could have just planted B again. Or you just timed that better.
But you can see everybody else from Atlanta FaZe working their way around the deep pin.
Like to play by Scrappy. I mean, I think you need both of them.
Wow.
That's just sort of the difference. Like the way that FaZe run around this map, it's just a small map. You play with your numbers.
Never have, never will. Envoy, last one left. Just has to try to force some sort of an engagement.
And now Simp has a cruise missile.
Yeah, not good. I mean, it's the easy way of evaluating that.
All right, this is what you call like a slow default, right? Out of FaZe. So this is just, we're getting info. Cell's back here. Draws is back here. We're making sure there's no 3 or 4 man pushes this way or this way. And if there are, we're putting shots in. We're giving our info to our team to go to the other bomb site. We see this a lot from a lot of teams on offense, just to slow things down. Try to make sure there's no gambles, especially when you're up 3-0. Ultra might be thinking at this time, all right, we need a round win. Let's start getting aggressive. So FaZe just kind of spread the map. Plus you have the cruise.
Something has to change right here, right now if you're Ultra. And it may need to start with just finding kills. Only 2 eliminations to this.
That would help.
And now FaZe are going to kind of feel things out over towards the A site. A little nervy here for Ultra, obviously not wanting to step outside.
Okay, so a bunch of nades go down. So you have this rotation play, right? So a bunch of nades are going off. So you have a 3-man rotate here. And Envoy's kind of just in a lurk spot if they do rotate back to B. So a bunch of nades go down towards boxes. That forces through the lobby. Scrapping and Kleenex to come and help Insight. So just all the info that you really have if you are Ultra.
You may have to try to make some sort of a quick play just to deny this plant.
At least they haven't allowed any players from Atlanta FaZe to get past that 50-yard line.
Yeah, so we're going to use the cruise.
But here comes the cruise missile. Going to invest it at 3-0. You're going to back down the players from Ultra, either in towards garage or towards the boxes area. But do they decide to work the objective or play the kills?
I mean, they bait out Scrap. He's trying to check to see if there's a plant right on top of the cruise. It never happened, and now Abizi creates a secondary problem right down.
Oh, man.
Are you kidding me? I mean, did he...
That's just the cruise, right? The cruise forces them inside. Behind the cruise, they get map control.
Legitimately outplayed in every form of Call of Duty at the moment. Nades even landing here off the rim.
So it looks like they were going to go back to boxes, but something like kind of changed their mind. So, all right, they're just going to go for this. And again, due to Celium's position, you have 3 players here. Like, Cell's literally just telling them there's nothing A again. So first blood on bomb. That's a bad death probably by Envoy. But now they're just going to plant a 3-on-4.
I don't know what the hell is going on, but Ultra,
And then look at this. This is what I was talking about, right? This is just that triple flank. It's open. It's been open. Insights here with a MCW. Good luck. You do re-pinch this if you're CleanX. Numbers are here. Now it's a 1v4. Just all info. I mean, I'm assuming FaZe right at the start of this round. I assume they stay due to these nades. So these nades that go off right here, I think that just forces Sim to stay. I think he just stays to help draws because he's weak. And then they rotate back. And then it's just a first blood. It's info and risk taking. That's really it. They plan to use the cruise? Yeah, they plan to use the cruise.
We thought it was going to be banger top tier matchups, but ends up being one-sided. Maybe none.
Okay, so you hear the trophies going off, right? That pretty much tells FaZe there's at least a presence here, and now there's 3. So this is the gamble. You have nothing A side from Ultra. So the gamble is just 3 side top mid. If they come up here or they go bridge side, we're going to swarm it and collapse. But what FaZe have done so well is they've always kept somebody A street to basically find info. Usually it's Cell. This time it's Simp and Cell. I assume, once again, they're not going to see shit and just go A.
More expressive of that than this one here. Toronto looking to get aggressive down mid, but I mean, again, it's being checked, it's being watched.
And again, so basically, Abizi gets shot at. He gets shot at, and is like, they have a lot of pressure top middle here. Usually, if you're pushing vending, you're probably not by yourself. I feel like that's pretty. You're gonna get traded, I would assume, more than likely if you're by yourself. So Abizi's like, there's probably multiple players top B. I'm gonna get out. So now you have Draws and Abizi just watching the full flank.
Just shows himself, and that's enough for Ultra to say we can't go any further.
Also, you have another cruise.
Play goes back over towards A, and surely, I mean, Atlanta are sitting here saying
Insight's trying to go inside. He gets caught.
Information in the read is there, but this is going to be another free plant if Atlanta want it.
Oh, they don't decide to work for it though.
Oh, you're not planting here.
Push that to at least
maybe you're worried about a retake.
The player who was on the opposing side, but he's going to regroup with his teammates. Now it's on Abizi. Simply just play his life, working his way back through the spawn while his teammates are pushing through the base. And I don't know if Toronto Ultra is going to...
Honestly, this is a good call by Ultra. The fact they haven't planted by this moment, they're kind of just like, this might just be B, so you keep Scrap here. Envoy and CleanX are trying to find Abizi, but they haven't planted A.
There's only 35 seconds left.
Yeah, I mean, FaZe probably should have just planted A here.
Well, the thing about it is, you have to imagine that Toronto...
But they're so... This isn't the wrong play either by Ultra, right? They know Abizi is on this side of the map. It's just taking them so long to find Abizi. Just way too long.
Around A, setting up some sort of
and then
Scrap will turn, maybe gets
I don't know if that's a good reach out, but at least you have the trade. 2v2. Scrap's here. Yeah, I think FaZe probably should just plant there. All right, what are we doing? Okay, so this time is a little different here at Ultra. This is the difference. You're obviously much quicker up to top mid. But look, one player here in Insight, maybe throwing nades towards this A bomb, keeps 2 players here. So that's the key so far. All right, you've kept 2 players here. You've kept Cell here, but you've also kept Simp. Just because they have no idea if this is an A play. A couple of nades shows some presence. So they have to keep this honest. Right? The other 2 players, one might rotate back through boxes just to help out. One might stay. But just having someone A street has pretty much kept, the FaZe players here.
Ultra will just kind of go to a pretty heavy-handed attack over towards B. Once again, trying to find the FaZe defense.
And this is good. You have a 3-on-2 on this side of the map. It's what you've wanted. You've just lost the gunfight. And then again, for whatever reason, as soon as they get first blooded, they start planning. Which I don't know is the worst thing, but again, it just tells me it feels like they don't really know if they want to go to lobby and fight or plan. Because if they're just trying to get this bomb down, I feel like someone shouldn't die in this scenario.
To help, and it's a free first blood turned into a 4v3 situation. Ultra trying to force post plan.
It feels like they don't really know what to do.
At least find 1 kill if you are Ultra, or at least stall out a lot of that game clock to allow Insight to work his way around.
Okay, so you're getting info on the bomb. You heard Stay talk about it. So you have bomb check. Study's basically saying, all right, he's going to work this flank to hopefully find a kill or 2, which, we sort of see these late flanks from time to time. And they can work out. It does look like right now with 30 seconds left, Droz is just kind of staring at this, waiting at this. The reason is you have a lot of info this side. So a lot of info bridge side. You know the pressure's not over there. So with a BZ pushing this, the next focus for them is boxes. And then they're going to collapse. If there's nobody boxes, they collapse top middle. So that's what Draws is worried about. And he's right. That's just good play from Draws. But that's also from the information that they have, bridge side, and that's just an easy one. I don't know, I'm gonna start that round again. Like, this is exactly what you want. You get trophies down, and this is the right call. I don't know why they back away here, because look, if he flies down here, maybe he dies, and then Kleenex goes, and then Scrap goes like this. I think worst case scenario, you force a 2-on-2. But instead, I think, is it Envoy dies, and then they don't really know what happens?
Attack over towards B. Once again, trying to find
then they just are like, all right, bye. Yeah, BZ 11-1, Simp 8-2. Just kind of doing whatever they want. All right, nice to be at the invasion control. It might have been Codcaster messing up. I don't know. Codcaster's been pretty buggy lately. All right, so you go towards A first round. Good shots. Keeping pressure here. Ultra's got to rotate this way. Just going through the middle.
Mannequin Simp finds a double, and that's gonna now be 3 dead in the feed. The first push wasn't good enough. Here comes the second as that first segment is about to get completed.
All right, so Ultra don't have to panic. You only have one on it. They recognize this. There's no trophies yet. Good kill by Envoy. Draws is just watching across. Cell's repinching this. You give up a tick, but it's fine. You'll take that. It's 30 seconds off the clock.
And that's already job well done if you are Atlanta FaZe. You got shut down on your first push, but your second push was even better. So at least earn 1 segment over towards A. Now you rotate back over towards
and you're trading.
Get this one out of the way with ease. That first segment is about to be complete. You see the way that Toronto Ultra are playing it. They're more focused on keeping them trapped here. Scrap is not going to go for any deep pinches. He's not going to try to shut them down.
Feels like they're giving it up, which is, yeah, it's fine if they want to. Yeah, they're going to get set up.
Yeah, it's just, it feels a little too early to chalk, especially considering there really wasn't much defensive pressure ever established over towards the B zone. And at the same rate, you've got Atlanta winning over the middle.
What differences do you see between this iteration of FaZe and the previous? I mean, the game helps a lot.
Easy follow-up, and now you've got a 5-life advantage. 60 seconds, still not extra tatted with the B tally yet, but it will be tagged on. And BZ's already making problems happen over towards A. Quick follow-up here for Toronto, but boy, they need to regain.
All right, so nice little reset there from Toronto. You give up B. Pacing too? I don't know if FaZe ever really had a pacing problem. But maybe. Maybe with like Slasher and Cell. Maybe this is a little bit better. With both of them being main ARs.
With the pistol, but problem is there are 2 FaZe members over towards the A zone. They're going to stack it. Second tick of progress looking pretty darn likely.
Did they get the second tick? No, they didn't get the second tick. So nice job by Ultra. 9 versus 10. It's getting a little scary here. But finally I have some map control.
Yeah, if you're Atlanta FaZe, you definitely want to get that second segment done before you go for that peak. You're still up in the lives remaining column. Up by 3. You know where inside is, and we can find this trade onto the SnD point. You can still take them.
And this is kind of the problem so far throughout this round, right? Like what Ultra's doing. We kind of talk about like layers of the map. Like let's just talk about like, I don't know, 3 layers. Right? FaZe is obviously spawning over here or whatever. And what FaZe have to do because they're spawning so far away is kind of layer the map, get control of the middle part, then work up towards towards the A side. What Ultra want to do is like control this middle part of the layer, or at least have 1 or 2 people get kills either tank side or lurk around, and you're basically just trying to slow them down numbers wise. So not allowing 3 to 4 players to get up towards the middle layer of the map to make a push on A. They're not going to cap it with 1 or 2. It would just take too long. The problem is you get 1 kill, but every single time you've had any forward momentum or forward progress here, you haven't traded at all. So it's just been multiple deaths here. So this was a 3 for 4 here for FaZe.
Has to bite down. They have to get ready for this pressure because 45 seconds left. 2 people drop. You have no more respawns.
Yeah, absolutely the case. And any kill from Kleenex would be a good.
So yeah, this is a great look at it, right? So FaZe, they got that middle layer back. So now when they start this next push, they're starting it from Cafe, where maybe this is only 1 more person. Ultra comes off spawn, kills Simp. Then they have to deal with this sort of B-dom area again.
Considering where the lives are at the moment, not a great start, obviously.
But 6v7, 30 seconds left, so Ultra just going to play safe, try to find a pick.
Feel like, okay, we saved this round just a touch. Scrap, long range shots. Nope, not gonna happen. Team shots.
Not gonna hit. It's fine. You're trading.
May have to be forced to take an engagement here as the stack from Atlanta is looking decent, and Kleenex gets blown away. Here we go. Atlanta over towards the A zone. They'll stop the clock. Insight still in place. Cut down though from Laundry. Abizi can hold his ground, and Scrap really can't do much in this position.
I think so. He sees one cross, gets a kill. I think with a 3v5, like maybe Insight's just got to play kills a little bit more here and not worry about the objective. Like this player here on A, like Abizi here, one player on this, when you hear that objective noise go off, I think it like kind of creates panic and instills panic in players, and probably just shouldn't. It's one player on the point. You still have somebody, Scraps, watching this cross, so they know it's only one. He should probably just be waiting here, playing this barricade and getting kills. Instead he gets caught sprinting, so it just feels like they kind of timed that wrong. Yeah, he should just wait. And then Sim gets another one. Yeah, I mean 0 for 9 out of Kleenex isn't good. But this is a, this is a bigger picture thing. Obviously, COD slaying, it's, you gotta get your kills. But it's these little moments.
Especially the first round with no trophy system in your back pocket. That initially successful.
No, he's nasty, but it's just this play. Like it's this kill. Because look, if Insight just plays this kill, or even just prones right here, barricades. Look at the map. You have one player on A. If you kill Simp, you get this guy. Your next player is maybe gonna be able to help out through A search. That's so far away. Like it's just so far. Instead, it's 2 versus 3 on the point. With Simp called out, but he doesn't need to be. Again, like all Insight is doing here is buying time. He gets a kill on a draws, number 5. All he should be doing, in my opinion, is waiting for his teammates off spawn. You're in a 3 versus 5. You're not gonna have numbers. Like I don't know. I think you just should wait there.
And your superstar Kleenex has yet to tally. Hello! Elimination.
All right, you just go sort of your standard B push here.
Toronto apparently right now, Jay. No one's answering the hello call. First tick of progress towards B.
All right, we're on the board.
Come through. Simp around the back finds himself a double, and Kleenex, he gets himself his first kill, but he's in trouble. He really wants this first tick of progress. Pistol will not win him the gunfight, and Atlanta's defense is already back in place.
And Ultra, you could just tell they're playing a little bit scared. They didn't even attempt to go over towards A because they know Atlanta FaZe is shooting a little bit different. So far in this series, we're trying to complete over towards B. That first segment is not even done.
Ultra's worried about the flank right now.
Exactly where all the pressure's coming in. They have crossfires galore. You still have a couple tacks in your back pocket to contest it. That's another 3 dead in the feed. Ultra are having no breathing room.
Honestly, this could be worse. Like they're pretty lucky nobody got to tank yet. They've at least done that, right? Scrap stayed long enough. Because if you get to someone tank and someone to like back tractor, you play 2 players like Dark and B-Dom. I mean, that's hell. But at least they have some breathing room off spawn. At least they can get to the tank. But they haven't had much. Yeah, so you see they're going for it, and that's when they get caught.
I mean, do you just look at FaZe of being just an untouchable squad in this major? Is it just the fall off from Toronto's being exposed? I don't know. We'll let the flank debate over that for the next 2 hours after this one's over. Ultra still involved.
I think FaZe are doing FaZe. I think Ultra's definitely fallen off a bit. I mean, you guys got to remember though, like last year, and this is what I was talking about earlier. I mean, New York lost the first or won the first major in like people don't talk about their middle of the year, but the middle of their year wasn't great. They won the last major and then they won champs. Like the fact that you've shown you're capable of winning, I think is enough. But yeah, I mean, they're gonna have to lock back in, especially in practice, and kind of rework things. I wouldn't be freaking out too much if I was Ultra. But yeah, FaZe are in a really good form right now.
Only 30 seconds left, and I'm pretty sure Simp hasn't even moved off spawn yet. Oh, he was calling in a cruise missile, so they're trying to close out this damn round here. Second segment doesn't even get complete, but you still got a couple players trying to contest it all the way to the very end. It's going to fall into the hands of Draza. Wins one gunfight through top broken, but the pitch is going to be there. So Ultra, even with 14 seconds left.
All right, so Ultra do a good job trading. It's a little scary. FaZe want to go for this because there's only 13 seconds.
More wallbang shenanigans trying to get through for selling, but the extra 60 seconds are going to be added. It's only a 4 life gap, but I think the bigger thing here is there's only 4.
All right, off that spawn, you got Simp into that A street position. You deal with that middle layer.
You find 3 kills through the middle of the map, and now you're forcing Simp out of his position. Make sure he's watching.
Just gotta find Simp.
Teammates to watch the crossover towards the safe point.
That was the other thing with their defense. Ultra never got somebody up this A street, like, ever. They had maybe one person, like A-bomb in like mid tank. They never had someone Humvees ever that first round. They have Cafe. That's man advantage. Envoy's able to find a route. The problem is just the time, right? B took so long. This pretty much has to be the push. Yeah, I mean, Insight's able to get through Laundry into gas. B just took so long. This took so long. I think location ping factor is much in here, if any at all. I mean, I think it's always gonna affect some things, but not a showing like this. They try to play them in neutral servers, yeah. FaZe is in Atlanta, Ultra maybe an Ohio server, Tennessee, Chicago. They could probably even do Dallas if they wanted to. Dallas is probably better for Atlanta though, so it's probably somewhere mid-US if I had to guess. It's gonna affect some things to an extent, but not like I don't know, not a loss like this.
Yeah, I mean the mind games, Jay. After the first hit.
Okay, so they pretty much just play an A hit. Celium is just here causing chaos. So what this does is you get your progress done at B. Everyone off spawn from Ultra has to go over towards A.
In 22 seconds on the clock to get over to A, and Draza's not losing gunfights inside a freezer against SMGs.
So much different than last round, right? I mean, you think about once Ultra got done with B, they didn't have long. They had a couple pushes. You have 2 minutes and 15 seconds. And that's just from the break off.
The map currently find themselves up by 2 lives, but they are maintaining a lot of mid-map control. Currently have DVD, currently have Cafe. So if you are Toronto Ultra, you have to make these kills count.
Okay, again, like, problem so far, the defense, you've had like nobody mid-map. You lose another gunfight. All of Ultra are in this line. You just have no layers.
Have to iron up. Clutch up on these fights. No one's going to be near the point. Atlanta FaZe currently have a lot of Cafe control.
Then yeah, you have no middle of map layer. They're just fighting from Cafe. And then who's to the middle of map? It's Simp again.
All the focus from the front, and Simp perfectly times his hit from behind. Trades decent here for Atlanta. Oh my goodness, Draza over the top. Now he's got laundry control. The read up close and personal.
That's a good kill right there from Scrap. Then you only have one player on this, so Ultra doesn't have to panic.
But the defense,
all right, can they get up the map?
And survives this hit over towards A. The second tick not fully locked.
No, huge kills by Simp. They just can't get A search control or get up A street. All right, Scrap gets another 2. Finally, you have something. You have something middle of the map.
Now with a couple players from Atlanta dropping, Simp now knows I have to take my time. I have to allow my teammates to get back into this play before I can make a play.
Trying to read the intel first. Stun does not land, so Simple to use that as a chance to reposition. Catches Envoy on the re-wrap back into Rugs. Things are looking polished.
Denver's 12.
Trying to scout things over the backside.
They Scrap dies. Middle of the map. Now it's just sort of a full-on collapse to the pinch.
Seems to be that case. He's on the hunt. Shots are good. Now it's over to the back for Simp on 4 in a row.
Okay, somehow Kleenex gets 2 there. That was very close to just being 3 players on the A point.
And look at the spawns for Ultra. They're so far away.
It's fine. You have 1 player on this. Just doesn't matter. I don't know how Kleenex got 2 there. But that was massive. All right, we're going to try to go A street here. We're on it. Scrap just got hit in the face by a grenade. See if Scrap can somehow stay alive there. They have a chance because you get 2 more kills behind it. That would have been progress working. Maybe it sets up some better timings, but now you kind of just have to maybe just get off this. Envoy able to get 2. Yeah, I think you just had to start going B now.
These guys are able to maneuver out with their life, but that's a little bit longer than you probably expect them to, and they just do it to perfection.
All right, B street time.
All 4 in the feed. Now all of Ultra trying to fight out of their spawn. Scrap at least wins a huge one-on-one through mid-dark to allow his teammates to push up towards the point. But for how long? Because you still. Okay,
last time through, you never really worked the pinch. Draza was trying to show, and he does, so he's keeping Kleenex honest.
Scrap is on the hunt, and that is just overheating overchild you've ever seen. So now Insight just left to his own devices around the zone, and yep, that's just not going to lead to too much.
Okay, now you're in the blender. So this is the blender. You got a player tank.
Yeah, he's playing well.
You have this guy top
That was
palace.
an overheat moment for sure.
You're just, you don't have a lot of time to do anything. Once you kill this player palace, now the crossfire's coming in.
This might be 3-0, and it's going to be done in 15 seconds out.
Sure feels that way. Ultra left at mid-map. And the cruise missile will surely pause any potential hit. Does take Simp out of the equation himself.
You got 2 players through A, I guess.
Because of how the kills come through, Ultra's going to get a pretty good headway over towards A. 2 players here, one on, one watching the cross. FaZe spawning a bit deeper out, so a chance for Ultra. But again, this is desperation, and backs are definitely facing walls right now.
Yep, you better hope those trophy systems are at least still there, because those tacks are going to get thrown. The numbers are better in favor for Atlanta FaZe, but they know we can close out the game right here. We just have to find these trades.
Okay. Nice play by Envoy. He's able to get there.
They have tried to extend this game, and they're able to do so with a great play over.
Get 8-point done, and Simp just gets a kill, and he's like, all right, I'm gonna go help you guys B. They don't want any progress to be done. The timing works out. It's actually a really smart play by Simp to just leave that player A.
One player on the zone. Kleenex still just holding his life, finessing. Abizi waiting for the assistance to come back through, but they know that there was one player left over towards A. It's all about where has Insight gone to since this rotation, and I believe they've seen him. Yep, they sure have.
That's 4 dead.
Atlanta just need to find 3 more kills.
And now you're pushed up again towards this tank. 3 players left.
Where the rest of Toronto Ultra are going to be coming from, and with only
We're just at round 1.
left, Atlanta FaZe are going to be able to 3-0 Toronto Ultra again, 2 times in a row.
Can never get kills in the middle of the map.
Top dogs.
The optics matchup where it was 4 very tight maps. This one
And LAG, dude. Don't forget LAG.
251.
Tross is yelling at Cam.
3-1.
Sheesh. Well, that was FaZe versus Ultra. Looking a little different right now.